That's a sweet jam. All right. I am very excited to be here tonight to present the Trainer Award to Cody Hawk. I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I think to display, the best way for me to display to you the gravity of Cody Hawk's legacy as a trainer, I think would be to just tell you a little bit about my story. That starts in Cincinnati, Ohio, many, many years ago. My formative years and my early teenage years are not a period of time that I remember fondly. So by the time I'm 16 years old and I walk through the doors of the Heartland Wrestling Association and meet Cody Hawk for the first time, I'm a very directionless, very troubled young man with just about every kind of problem and social anxiety you can imagine. I hated my teachers, I hated my coaches. I'd stopped going to school. The only thing that I liked was wrestling, and I was obsessed, and I was hell-bent on breaking into this industry. I just didn't know how I would start. I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't know how to get there. Enter Cody Hawk. Now from day one with Cody Hawk, he was different than any other teacher or coach I'd ever had, anybody in a mentor type position. Cody treated me with respect, and I think more importantly than that, Cody took me seriously. So whether it was out of the goodness of his heart or he saw that desire and drive or whatever other kind of cliche, I apologize, you want to put there, for whatever reason, he took me under his wing. And I became the Cody Hawk science experiment for the next few years. And the important thing that I want to say, that I want to emphasize, if you were to take one thing away from this, is that from day one with Cody, however much work I was willing to put in, however much effort I was willing to put forth, he would match it. If I wanted to stay an hour after practice and wrestle in the ring, Cody would stay with me. If I wanted to show up an hour early and lift weights, he would show up and open up the gym for me. If I wanted to stay an hour after the matches and watch back the tapes and study the tapes, he would stay and study the tapes with me. Cody didn't just show me the path, Cody walked the path with me, and that's a crucial distinction. There are many trainers out there who'd be happy to just take your money and put in as little effort as possible into actually making you better. And Cody is the exact opposite. In fact, speaking of money, I think wrestling school around that time cost somewhere around $3 grand, and at the time I obviously didn't have a pot to piss in. So, you know, Cody says, hey, it's fine, you can just make payments when you can, whatever you can. I think I made exactly one payment. So technically, I still owe Cody about $2,700. But I figure since I'm up here doing this speech for him tonight, we can just call it even. Anyway, after 2 or 3 years and thousands of hours of Cody putting his hard work in to develop me as his science experiment, eventually, you know, that 16-year-old kid who walked through the doors was doing 60-minute Broadways. Eventually, I'm wrestling all over the country, eventually all over the world. Was fortunate enough to have 8 successful years in WWE. I'm of the belief that everything that I've accomplished in this business and everything I have in my life, I share with the people who helped me along the way. And Cody Hawk is at the very tip top of that list. So I'm very proud to present the Cauliflower Alley Trainer Award to my man, Cody Hawk.
Oh wow, I don't know if I can follow that. All right, I put my old man glasses on. All right, so to be here this week on this stage along with the other award winners is super humbling for me and just a little bit overwhelming. I'm incredibly honored to be recognized by the Cauliflower Alley for this year's Trainers Award. It's an award that's only been given out 3 times. 11-year-old me would never believe that one day I'd be getting an award on the same stage as guys like Dory Funk Jr., Haku, Mark Henry. 45-year-old Lee hardly believes it either. I know most of you are sitting there wondering why this guy you've never heard of is getting an award at Cauliflower Alley. No worries, I'm wondering the same thing. If I had to guess, I'd say most of you haven't a clue who I am, and that's okay, because truthfully, I haven't a clue who most of you are either. No, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. I know 3 or 4 of you. I was never a big star. I did plenty of jobs for WCW and WWE, but I never got over on a national or international level. When I say plenty, I mean plenty. I was a wrestler, a referee, a photographer, a druid, a rosebud, a fake Sting, and I was paid super well to pee in a urinal on an early episode of SmackDown while Luna, Jackie, and Ivory fought through the men's room. I was never a household name, but what I was a guy with a dream and a love, a guy with a passion and drive, and a guy with a desire to be the absolute best I could be. I've been fortunate enough to wrestle in over 3,500 matches all over the country, but I never achieved the success that I wanted as a wrestler. As a trainer, however, I have. I've gotten to affect the lives of several hundred people who achieved the dream of pro wrestling. I've watched several of my kids make it to the big dance. I've had the privilege of being a guest trainer at WWE's Performance Center and was featured as Ambrose's trainer on WWE's Chronicle episode of Dean. And of course, being here today receiving this Cauliflower Alley Club Trainers Award. I started my journey 23 years ago under the watchful eye of legendary trainer Les Thatcher in Cincinnati, Ohio. I sold a car, gave up my family, my friends, my wife, and dove headfirst into the professional wrestling business. I signed up to be a wrestler. I never set out to be a trainer. It just sort of happened. I wanted nothing more than to be a pro wrestler. I was super fortunate to be a part of a company that in the late 90s and early 2000s really blew up. The Heartland Wrestling Association, or HWA, was featured in Men's Health magazine on an episode of 2020 on MTV's True Life, I'm a Pro Wrestler. We ran the Pillman Memorial shows and became a developmental territory for the WWF. As we grew and Les's responsibilities grew, he began to put the training off on me. He would have me run his drills and put the crew through their paces. As the days, weeks, months, and years went by, my duties as trainer grew. During the WWF developmental time, Les completely handed off the non-contract training to me as he was running classes during the days with all the talent acquired in the buyouts of WCW and ECW. I would come to the afternoon classes and learn from guys like Dean Malenko, D'Lo Brown, Val Venus, Kevin Kelly, Raven, Tommy Dreamer, just to name a few. I would then go to the night classes and teach the younger generation what I had learned that day. In 2002, the WWE pulled the contract from HWA and we were left in shambles with only about 8 wrestlers left on staff. I took over booking the shows and running the towns from Les, eventually buying Les out in 2003. From 2003 to 2007, I was able to take HWA from being on a local TV in Cincinnati to being on the America One network, where we were in 148 cities coast to coast. I think this is where my eye for detail and the way I was training really seemed to grow. Those years produced talents like retired American Japanese female star Haley Hatred, Impact Wrestling star Sami Callihan, former Impact Wrestling star Eli Drake, and former WWE star Dean Ambrose. Seeing these people achieve their goals and dreams was really awesome, but equal to that are the several hundred other people I trained who did not make it to that level, but were still able to achieve their dreams and goals no matter how big or small. I'm very proud of all my students. 23 years later, I still wrestle. I still train wrestlers every week at Future Great Wrestling in Cincinnati, Ohio. I have a whole crop of new talents just chomping at the bit to be discovered. I have a female student who has been doing extra work for WWE about every other month for the past 2 years. Hopefully she'll be the next one to catch that brass ring. Thank you to my ex-brother-in-law, Jackson Breeze, for introducing me to Les Thatcher. Without Les and Jack, I would have never started down this road. Thank you, Les Thatcher, for training me the right way and having faith in me. All I ever wanted to do was earn my spot. Thank you to a few guys like Frank Veazey, Brady Labor, and Dean Roll, aka Bull Payne, GQ Masters, and Shark Boy. Those road trips taught me all the things you don't learn in class, the psychology, the etiquette, and the respect for the business. Thanks to my trainees, the Hawk Army, past and present, some of whom have made the trip out here today to be with me. Very awesome. Huge thank you to all the promotions all over the country who have booked me and the fans who cheered or booed me. Thank you to Brian Blair and the Cauliflower Alley for giving me this amazing award. Throw it up, throw it down for the 5 most wanted. This has been my closest circle of friends for the better part of my career. People think it's a gimmick, but it's not, it's just us. Thank you to John Moxley. Thank you to Sean Ricker for doing what it takes to make it to the next level. Thank you for listening, thank you for paying attention, thank you for trying and putting in all the effort to go the distance. You guys rock. You're the benchmark for what my students need to be, and you know, I wish you guys nothing but the best of luck in everything that you do going forward. Thank you to my gal, Shauna Reed. You've given me fresh life in wrestling and getting to watch you grow and achieve your dreams. I love it, girl. The sky's the limit. And lastly, thank you to my mom and dad. They're here today with me in Vegas for the first time, and they're partying it up with Cody Hawk and the 5 Most Wanted. All I ever wanted to do was make you guys proud. If I didn't have the support of you guys, I would have never followed a childhood dream. You gave me the heart and the free spirit to live my life to its fullest, and I'm so happy that you're here sharing this weekend with me and being a part of today. Thank you all.